Welcome to night school. You've just entered a place where curiosity helps you rest. Here, we mix learning with the calm of the night. Get ready for soothing stories and tranquil teachings. Let knowledge be your guide through a peaceful night.
Welcome to night school, where curiosity meets calm through softly narrated lessons in science, psychology, and history. If you enjoy peaceful learning and thoughtful explanations, please like and subscribe. Today, we will explore the architecture of a dream, tracing how memories, emotions, and imagination merge to form the nightly worlds visited during sleep. Through gently woven visuals and clear explanations, check the description below for my favorite sleep supplement that supports relaxation and better rest. You can also find our AI automation community, where you can learn to completely automate videos like this one. I hope these resources are helpful and hope you enjoy the video. Now let's dive in as the mind shifts between alertness and slumber. Dreams arise near this boundary, where waking thoughts dissolve and unconscious images appear. During this transition, the brain blends fragments of experience with emerging sensations, forming scenes that seem both familiar and strange. The dreamscape serves as a unique mental space for wandering thoughts to take shape without outside influence. When waking fades, the brain enters a different state where neural signals become less orderly. In this quiet zone, past events and emotions mix together. The dream forms as a combination of these internal traces, inviting the mind to explore possibilities beyond immediate reality. This blend creates the foundation from which vivid stories and feelings start to unfold during sleep. Across the sleeping brain, certain areas remain active while others rest deeply. Memories stored during the day trigger unknown sequences as imagination fills the gaps. Emotions play a strong role here, coloring the scenes with moods that sometimes surprise. Together, these elements craft the narrative flow that makes each dream a complex inner experience, unique from one night to the next. Between stages of light and deep sleep, the mind cycles through phases where imagery can become sharper or more distant. This shifting focus changes the way stories unfold, sometimes more realistic, other times abstract. The brain weaves sensations and thoughts with varying clarity, adjusting the dream's structure according to the current sleep cycle, continually reshaping what the mind envisions. Within the dream space, time seems to stretch or compress in unusual ways. Moments from the past might replay, or new visions unfold rapidly without clear transitions. These altered perceptions reveal the brain's freedom to experiment with scenarios unbound by logical sequences. Dreams allow mental rehearsal and emotional processing through scenes that bypass waking limitations on narrative flow. During rapid eye movement, brain activity resembles the waking state, but external senses are disconnected. This internal focus enables the mind to create immersive scenes independent of the physical environment. The vivid colors, shapes, and sounds within dreams reflect the brain's capacity to simulate experience internally. Such simulations might contribute to problem solving and emotional adjustments during sleep periods. Emotions within dreams often feel intense despite the quiet surroundings. The limbic system, responsible for emotional responses, lights up, influencing dream content significantly. These feelings shape the narrative, guiding the flow from one image to the next. The integration of emotional signals helps the brain sort through daily experiences while generating novel combinations of ideas and sensations. Imagination extends the reach of memory by linking familiar fragments with new possibilities. This creative aspect dominates dreams, building worlds that do not exist apart from the mind's construction. Abstract concepts or impossible situations take form without physical limits. Imagination becomes the cornerstone of the dream's architecture, inventing scenes that blend knowledge with invention during sleep. As sleep deepens, the brain's language centers operate differently, transforming thoughts into visual and sensory content. Words may lose their usual clarity, while images and sensations gain prominence. The intricate connection between language and perception reorganizes the mind's output, favoring symbolic representations over direct communication. This process allows dreams to communicate through metaphorical and nonverbal means. Neural pathways active during dreaming reflect a complex interplay between recent experiences and long-term memories. The brain selectively accesses stored information, not in a straightforward manner, but through associative links. These patterns generate unexpected combinations, producing fresh scenarios that feel both meaningful and puzzling. This mechanism contributes to the unpredictable yet coherent flow of dream narratives. In some cases, sensory fragments from the sleeping environment merge with dream content, creating hybrid experiences. Sounds, scents, or physical sensations can integrate subtly, influencing the dream's direction. Such blending reveals the dynamic boundaries between external reality and internal simulation. The mind remains responsive to outside stimuli, yet transforms them to maintain the immersive quality of the dream world. Dream scenes can switch abruptly between locations and moods without warning. These sudden transitions reflect the brain's flexible storytelling, unconstrained by typical rules of logic or continuity. Scenes may shift from calm to intense or familiar to surreal rapidly. This fluid narrative style showcases the brain's capacity to mix elements freely, building elaborate and shifting mental landscapes during sleep. Sensory details within dreams vary widely, sometimes vivid and other times faint. The brain modulates sensory input to match the dream's tone or storyline. Visual brightness, texture, and sound quality can fluctuate, adding layers of depth or abstraction. These changes influence how the dream feels, enhancing immersion or creating distance, depending on the ongoing neural activity and emotional state. Certain brain regions involved in self-awareness show altered activity during dreaming. This change can reduce the sense of control or clarity about the dream state. As a result, dreams often appear unpredictable or confusing. The diminished self-monitoring lets unconscious processes drive the narrative, allowing the brain to explore ideas and emotions without interference from conscious judgment. Memory fragments play a starring role, forming a mosaic from different times and places. These pieces are sometimes rearranged into new contexts, generating stories that seem real yet are impossible when awake. This recombination builds the dream's foundation, weaving past experience with imaginative elements to create meaningful, but often strange mental constructs during slumber. Dream imagery is not limited to recent events, but pulls from older memories as well. The brain's archive provides a rich source of material that informs the dream's content. By sampling widely, the mind can blend childhood scenes with current thoughts or distant places with everyday moments. This broad selection supports complex narratives that cross various life stages and experiences. During sleep, the brain's emotional centers help prioritize particular memories or sensations. Important or unresolved feelings tend to surface in dreams, directing narrative themes. This focus may assist in processing experiences that require attention. As emotions highlight specific content, the dream gains coherence around personal significance, revealing the mind's subtle strategies for mental organization during rest. Visual patterns in dreams often feature distortions or exaggerations. The brain alters proportions, colors, or spatial relations to create impressions that differ from waking perception. These modifications emphasize emotional tone or symbolic meaning rather than literal accuracy. Such distortions allow the dream to communicate more about feelings or ideas than exact details, engaging the mind's interpretive abilities during sleep. The brain's default mode network supports creative thought during dreaming. This system enables spontaneous connections between unrelated ideas, fueling the dream's inventiveness. As this network activates, it forms links that surprise and engage the mind. These novel associations contribute to the richness and variety found in dreams, highlighting the mind's resourcefulness when disengaged from external input. Although dreams often follow nonlinear paths, the brain still organizes elements into coherent sequences. This order emerges from the way neural circuits synchronize activity. Patterns of activation guide transitions between scenes, making the dream flow feel natural despite sudden changes. The mind constructs a storyline that balances novelty with familiarity to keep the experience engaging and meaningful. Sleep's restorative functions benefit from dreaming, which encourages mental flexibility. The brain uses this time to test new ideas and strengthen connections. By simulating different outcomes or emotions, dreams prepare the mind for challenges ahead. This process contributes indirectly to learning and problem solving, making dreaming a vital component of overall cognitive health during rest periods. Approaching the edge of waking, the dreamscape gradually dissolves as sensory awareness returns. The mind shifts attention outward, reconnecting with the environment. Dream images fade and fragments lose coherence. This transition marks the close of the nightly journey through the complex architecture of dreams, leaving spaces for reflection and rest as consciousness fully returns to waking life. Now let's dive in. During sleep, the brain shifts into a unique state where different regions communicate in new ways. Neural activity patterns change, enabling processes that are less active when awake. These shifts provide the groundwork for how memories are sorted, emotions are handled, and the dreamscapes we visit each night are constructed from various mental elements. Memory consolidation is a key function during sleep, particularly in deep stages. The brain sorts through information gathered during the day, deciding what to keep for long-term storage and what to discard. This selective process reorganizes neural connections and strengthens important memories, preparing them for easier access in waking life. At the same time, emotional centers of the brain, such as the amygdala, become more active during certain sleep phases. This activity allows the brain to process feelings experienced recently, reducing emotional intensity and helping maintain mental balance. Dreaming may serve as part of this emotional review, weaving feelings into vivid narratives. The hippocampus plays a crucial role by interacting with the cortex to replay memories, weaving fragments into sequences. This replay helps transfer memories from short-term storage to more stable, long-term areas. During these moments, the brain tests connections between new experiences and existing knowledge, which can influence what appears in dreams. Different sleep stages contribute uniquely to brain function. Rapid eye movement sleep activates areas linked to vision and emotion, while reducing prefrontal cortex engagement. This creates a blend of vivid imagery and softened critical thinking, allowing unusual ideas and images to emerge in dreams without the usual filters. Non-REM sleep, with slower brain waves, supports physical restoration and memory processing. During this phase, the brain repairs cells and clears waste products, while neural pathways involved in skill learning are reinforced. These processes provide the biological foundation that enables dreaming to occur later in the sleep cycle. Throughout the night, neurotransmitters fluctuate in concentration, influencing brain activity and sleep quality. Chemicals like serotonin and norepinephrine decrease during REM sleep, while acetylcholine rises. These shifts support different aspects of brain function, including memory encoding and emotional regulation, shaping the environment in which dreams take form. Synaptic pruning happens as part of memory processing, where the brain trims unnecessary neural connections. This helps keep the brain efficient, preventing overload by strengthening important pathways and weakening others. The process encourages clear, organized thoughts and may shape the content and clarity of dreams. During sleep, the brain also processes sensory information in a different way. External sounds or sensations may blend into ongoing dream narratives. This integration shows how the brain's activity remains flexible, mixing reality with imagination to generate the complex experiences we remember upon waking. Dreams arise from the interplay of memory, emotion, and imagination. The brain pieces together fragments of past experiences, current feelings, and creative impulses. This combination allows for the formation of scenarios that are often surprising and disjointed, but carry significant meaning related to the sleeper's mental state and recent events. Electrical signals between neurons change patterns throughout sleep. These shifting rhythms allow new connections to form while weakening older ones. This neural remodeling supports cognitive functions such as learning, problem solving, and emotional adjustment, all operating beneath the surface during our resting hours. When the brain enters deeper sleep phases, it becomes less responsive to the outside world. This isolation creates a safe space for internal mental processes without distraction. The reduction in sensory input supports the consolidation of memories and the processing of emotions central to dream construction. Cognitive neuroscientists have observed that the brain's default mode network, active during restful wakefulness, also participates during sleep. This network links various brain regions involved in self-generated thought, allowing the mind to wander freely and making it possible for dreams to explore personal memories and future possibilities. History and emotion are often intertwined in dreams. The hippocampus provides a timeline, while the emotional centers color those memories with feelings. This coordination helps explain why some dreams feel strongly personal, as the brain processes and integrates past experiences with ongoing emotional states during rest. Certain proteins are more actively produced during sleep, fueling neural growth and repair. These biological activities underpin the brain's adaptability and health. The ongoing regeneration helps maintain cognitive functions and may influence the vividness and complexity of dream content throughout the night. The brain's ability to simulate environments and scenarios during dreams aids in problem solving and emotional regulation. By exploring different outcomes without real-world risks, the mind experiments with possibilities, which can inform waking decisions and responses to challenges. As sleep deepens, blood flow to various brain regions shifts. Areas responsible for processing sight and emotion receive more oxygen, supporting vivid dreams. Meanwhile, regions involved in logical analysis slow down, allowing the dream experience to unfold in ways that defy typical reasoning or expectations. Muscle atonia occurs in REM sleep, which temporarily paralyzes most muscles. This mechanism protects the sleeper by preventing physical actions that might follow intense dream activity. Although the body remains still, the brain continues a flurry of electrical activity that maintains the flow of mental imagery and emotional processing. Sensory memory traces often contribute to dream formation, especially sounds or smells encountered before sleep. These fragments can be woven into dream content, sometimes in surprising ways. The brain's integration of sensory remnants shows how external experiences subtly influence the architecture of dreams we experience. Sleep spindles, brief bursts of brain activity during non-REM sleep, appear connected to memory consolidation. Their timing and frequency may reflect how the brain prioritizes certain information for storage. These bursts also appear to help regulate communication between brain regions, playing a role in maintaining a smooth transition between sleep stages. Complex networks within the brain coordinate to balance excitation and inhibition. This balance adjusts throughout sleep to shape how memories and emotions are managed. Such equilibrium is essential for maintaining the brain's stability and preventing excessive activity, which could disrupt the restorative functions sleep provides. The boundaries between reality and imagination blur during sleep. The brain synthesizes elements collected from different mental systems, allowing it to craft scenes that feel both familiar and strange. This blending illustrates the brain's creative capacity and its ongoing work even while the body rests. Microarchitectural changes occur on a neuronal level throughout the night. Dendrites and synapses undergo subtle rearrangements, fine-tuning connections based on learning and emotional input. These adjustments contribute to the brain's plasticity, which supports adaptation over time and ensures the dream content reflects recent experiences. As rest progresses, the brain cycles through non-REM and REM stages multiple times. Each cycle builds on previous activity, enhancing memory integration and emotional processing. Through this structured pattern, the brain creates the foundation for dreams that are complex, meaningful, and connected to both past and present life moments. Now let's dive in. Memories act like fragments collected during waking hours, stored across many parts of the brain. These pieces form the foundation for dreams by offering familiar shapes, sounds, and feelings. Within the dream state, the mind rearranges these fragments into new patterns, blending reality with imagination to create vivid, shifting scenes that never quite repeat. Memory traces stored in the hippocampus and cortex play key roles when dreams are formed. These regions work to retrieve past events and sensations, supplying raw material that dreams can reshape. Unlike straightforward replay, memories in dreams appear altered, often mixing unrelated moments or details to build unusual scenarios beyond normal experience. Sensory experiences remembered from daily life offer important textures within dreams. Sounds heard, colors seen, and physical sensations felt become woven into dream narratives. The brain extracts these details not as exact copies, but as impressions, allowing the dreaming mind to remodel them freely, while maintaining a sense of familiarity that anchors dream scenarios. When asleep, the brain sometimes links memories that happened far apart in time. This unusual connection lets the dream combine elements that seem unrelated during waking life. Such links can produce surprising or emotional content, helping the mind explore ideas or feelings that remain hidden or unresolved during the day. Emotions tied to memories contribute depth to dreams. Feelings like happiness, fear, or longing mix with recalled experiences, influencing how dream scenes unfold. These emotional tones give dreams a unique texture, often stronger than memories alone. They guide how the mind rearranges events and images into narratives that can be vivid or confusing. The fluid nature of dreams allows memory fragments to flow through different contexts. A place seen in one memory might appear inside an unrelated setting during a dream. This flexibility enables the mind to experiment with new combinations, constructing scenes that challenge ordinary perception while maintaining a link to familiar experiences stored in memory. Some researchers suggest that dreams serve as a workshop for memory consolidation. While resting, the brain processes and strengthens memories by replaying and reimagining them. This exercise can involve extracting key details, discarding others, and blending scenes to reinforce learning and emotional balance. without simply repeating past events exactly. Visual aspects of memories frequently shape dream imagery. Shapes, colors, and faces once seen influence how dream worlds appear. Dreams often exaggerate or distort these images, creating new compositions from familiar components. This process highlights the mind's capacity to invent while relying on the basic ingredients drawn from remembered experiences. Context shifts within dreams reflect the brain's creative use of memory. Scenery may transform quickly without warning, moving from indoors to outdoors or from one city to another. These changes illustrate how the brain weaves different spatial memories into continuous narratives, disregarding normal rules about time and place seen in waking life. Dream narratives often lack full coherence because the brain uses fragments that originate separately. These disconnected pieces are stitched loosely, producing stories that seem illogical or bizarre. Such looseness allows the dreaming mind to explore multiple possibilities, testing perspectives and emotions in ways that waking consciousness cannot easily access. Memories also play a part in recurring dreams. When specific memories resurface repeatedly, the brain may return to familiar themes or symbols, revisiting unresolved issues. These repeats suggest that the mind is attempting to work through certain experiences or emotions by reshaping their narrative across several sleep cycles. In dreams, past experiences are seldom copied precisely. Rather than strict repetition, the mind adapts memory elements to new contexts. This imaginative alteration permits scenes to evolve fluidly, linking old images with fresh ideas. The result is a dynamic dreamscape that weaves memory with invention continuously throughout the night. The hippocampus is central for transforming memories into dream material, especially episodic memories about events and places. Its role in organizing these details allows dreams to evolve with a sense of narrative, even if the storyline is fragmented or nonlinear. This region's activity shows how memory and creativity intersect during sleep. While dreaming, the brain also taps into semantic memory, which holds general knowledge and facts. This resource adds structure and meaning to dream sequences, helping the mind understand contexts or symbols. For example, recognized objects or roles in a dream may come from this stored information rather than specific personal memories. Memory retrieval during sleep does not always activate the same clarity found in waking recall. Instead, impressions, feelings, and partial glimpses surface. This haziness contributes to the dream's shifting and elusive quality, where remembered scenes are painted with broad strokes rather than fine detail, making dreams feel both familiar and strange. The dreaming brain relies on its ability to link memories with imagination. This partnership assembles dream stories by combining known experiences with novel creations. Imagination fills gaps where memories lack content, allowing new scenarios to emerge seamlessly from a base of stored information and emotional cues. Sleep stages influence memory integration in dreams differently. REM sleep favors vivid imagery and emotional content drawn from recent and older memories alike. Meanwhile, other stages may focus on consolidating facts and skills rather than imaginative recombination. These shifting processes show how memory use in dreams changes with brain activity. In some dreams, memory fragments come from surprising sources, such as distant childhood events or rarely accessed knowledge. These unexpected elements highlight how memory retrieval during sleep does not follow typical priorities, allowing the mind to assemble images and ideas from a wide temporal range across past experiences. Dreams often connect memory with emotional processing by replaying or reshaping remembered moments linked to strong feelings. This process may help regulate emotional responses by providing safe space for exploration. As memories are reframed, the dream can help the brain integrate emotional experiences more flexibly over time. The way memories are split and reassembled during dreaming differs from conscious thought patterns. Instead of linear sequences, the brain prefers fragmented, associative links. These connections enable unusual or creative dream outcomes. By combining ideas and images through unexpected pathways within the sleeping mind, memory's contribution to dreams extends beyond visual and emotional content. Sounds, smells, and tactile sensations stored from past experiences also appear, enriching the dream world. These sensory details add complexity and realism, helping to populate dreams with multidimensional layers derived from learned associations. Over time, dreams regularly shift focus from one memory fragment to another, a process shaped by network activity in the brain. These rapid transitions mix diverse elements smoothly, avoiding repetition. The movement keeps dream narratives fluid, allowing new scenes to arise from a constantly changing blend of past experiences and imaginative variation. While constructing dreams, the brain shows remarkable flexibility, combining segments of unrelated memories into coherent or surreal images. This creative synthesis helps explain why dreams feel unpredictable. The mind spontaneously experiments with ideas, arranging and rearranging memory parts without constraint imposed by logic or time. Certain memory types, such as emotional or sensory memories, are prioritized in dream formation. These elements provide intensity and vividness, making dream scenes feel real or impactful. The dreaming brain selects and enhances these fragments, elevating them within the dream narrative to highlight key experiences from waking life. Emotions color the dreamscape, altering how experiences unfold. Joy might brighten a scene with vivid color and movement, while anxiety can twist imagery into unsettling shapes. These feelings guide the mind as it wanders through memories and fantasies, influencing not just what appears, but also how intensely each moment is felt within the dream's flow. Neural pathways linked to emotional centers activate differently depending on mood. A surge in amygdala activity can increase the vividness of fearful or stressful dreams. Meanwhile, positive emotions spark reward-related regions, which can fill dreams with warmth or comfort. This interplay creates a dynamic canvas where highs and lows weave together, making each dream unique in tone and impact. Now let's dive in. The emotional state before sleep often shapes the themes of dreams. Feelings experienced during the day may reappear in altered forms at night, sometimes magnified or softened. This emotional residue influences how the mind constructs scenarios, blending past experiences with current moods to build stories that feel deeply personal and vivid. During rapid eye movement sleep, the stage where most dreaming occurs, emotions become heightened. This deep stage encourages exploration of personal worries and desires, often making dream narratives intense or surreal. Emotional arousal activates pathways that strengthen the connection between feelings and the unfolding dream plot, crafting scenes that resonate beyond the dream itself. Sadness can imprint a quiet tone on dreams, slowing movement and dimming colors, while excitement might speed up scenes with sharp contrasts. Tiny shifts in mood provoke changes in dream rhythm and detail. The brain's emotional filters continuously tune the sensory input, adjusting how memories and imagination blend, shaping the drama experienced behind closed eyes. Memory and emotion collaborate during sleep, reinforcing significant feelings through replay and reorganization. Strong emotional moments often return, allowing the brain to process them in novel ways. This blending adjusts the emotional weight within dreams, sometimes making them intense or unexpectedly gentle. The shifting emotional balance creates a flowing narrative that is not purely random, but meaningfully connected to waking life. Emotional responses are not just passive within dreams, but actively sculpt the storyline. Fear might introduce sudden changes or interruptions, while calmness allows for smooth transitions and continuity. These reactions modulate dream dynamics, affecting how characters appear and events unfold. The creative process of dreaming engages emotional feedback loops that sculpt each sequence's texture. Physiological signals linked to emotions influence dream content. 2. Changes in heart rate and breathing during sleep send cues that steer dream intensity. Higher arousal may provoke more vivid or chaotic dreams, while steadier rhythms support gentler, slower stories. These body signals interact with brain activity, feeding emotional states and guiding the unconscious narrative movement. Dream characters often embody emotional states indirectly. A figure may represent unresolved tensions or joys. These symbolic presences shift and adapt, reflecting inner psychological battles or celebrations. The dream environment then becomes a stage where emotional conflicts and resolutions play out, providing insight without direct confrontation, allowing the mind to explore feelings safely. Because emotions influence sensory perception, sounds, colors, and textures in dreams transform according to feeling. A peaceful mood might temper rough edges or harsh noises, creating softer landscapes. Conversely, anger or fear sharpens sensory details, making the dreamscape more vivid or even overwhelming. This sensory modulation helps convey the emotional atmosphere of each scene clearly to the sleeper. Repeated emotional experiences in dreams may signal underlying personal concerns. These recurring feelings encourage attention and reflection, serving as mental markers. Their persistence adds layers to the narrative, linking separate dreams through common emotional themes. Sleep thus becomes a natural rehearsal space where the mind tests and processes recurring emotional challenges or joys over time. As emotions shift during sleep cycles, dream tone evolves too. A tense dream early on might transition into calm or bliss later in the night. These fluctuations reflect the brain's ongoing regulation of emotional states, aiming toward balance. The dream's emotional arc mirrors internal mood adjustments, which helps prepare waking mind for the day ahead with refreshed perspectives. Emotional memory consolidation during sleep strengthens learned feelings from daily life. Dreams weave these emotions into scenes that connect recent experiences with older ones, deepening understanding. This synthesis supports emotional growth by linking new insights to established patterns. As a result, dream content can feel emotionally rich and layered, blending past and present influences. The brain's reward system interacts with dreams to amplify positive emotional experiences. When activated, it enhances feelings of pleasure and satisfaction within dreams, guiding narratives towards hopeful or joyful outcomes. This mechanism helps maintain emotional balance by encouraging mental states associated with well-being. Even amid complex or challenging dream sequences, certain emotions may trigger specific types of dream imagery. For example, anxiety often brings fragmented or chaotic visuals, while love tends to produce comforting or nurturing scenes. These links vary widely between people, but illustrate how deeply intertwined emotion and vision are during sleep. The brain uses these emotional cues to construct symbolic or literal representations in dreams. Dream intensity correlates with emotional charge rather than simple content. Scenarios with little feeling may seem dull or faded, but strong emotions awake sharper colors, sounds, and sensations. This explains why emotionally rich memories often appear more detailed and memorable within dreams. The brain prioritizes emotional importance, using it as the lens through which dream stories are told. Mind and body cooperate closely as feelings influence dream time perception. Moments of fear or excitement can stretch seconds into what feels like minutes, while calmness might compress time. This distortion affects how dreamers experience narrative pacing, making some parts feel slow and others rapidly shifting. Emotional state plays a key role in this flexible timing of the dream experience. Emotion regulation processes active during sleep help modulate dream reactions. The brain adjusts responses to intense feelings, sometimes dulling or amplifying them. This modulation protects mental stability and supports healthier coping. Dreams then serve as a sandbox where emotions are explored safely without overwhelming the sleeping mind. Balancing emotional exposure and restfulness effectively. Cultural background can influence how emotions manifest in dreams. Learned emotional expression and interpretation shape the types of feelings represented and the ways they appear. For instance, some cultures might experience more communal or relational emotions, affecting dream interactions. These influences tailor the dream's emotional landscape to fit the dreamer's waking social context and values. Interactions within dreams often reflect emotional dynamics from waking relationships. Conflict, affection, or misunderstanding appear as narrative elements, reworked through dream imagination. These emotional echoes can reveal hidden feelings or clarify personal issues. The dream environment provides a flexible space to play with resolutions or face unresolved tensions quietly, aiding emotional integration over time. Dreams may also rehearse emotional responses to future events, preparing the mind for challenges. By simulating scenarios linked to anxiety or hope, the brain tests coping strategies and emotional flexibility. This rehearsal enhances adaptive functioning by allowing emotional practice in a low-risk setting, contributing to emotional resilience in waking life across diverse situations and stressors. Because emotional centers are closely connected to memory networks, feelings can trigger sudden shifts in dream narrative. A sudden change in mood might redirect the storyline or introduce new images unexpectedly. This fluidity demonstrates how emotions drive dream evolution, keeping the content vibrant and responsive to unconscious psychological needs during sleep cycles. Even in the absence of strong emotions, minor mood fluctuations influence dream atmosphere. Subtle changes in feelings affect color saturation, sound quality, and pacing. These small emotional adjustments help maintain the dream's continuity, linking one scene to another with a steady emotional thread. The dream mind uses these soft shifts to keep the journey coherent and emotionally meaningful. As the night moves forward, emotional elements in dreams often become less intense. This reduction allows smoother mental transitions toward waking or deeper rest. Calmer feelings help slow the dream's pace and fade vividness, preparing the mind for consciousness. The ebbing emotional tide supports a gentle return to alertness without abrupt disruption, ensuring a harmonious end to the dreaming process. Imagination acts as a powerful creator during dreams, the force behind the endless and unfamiliar scenes that unfold. Within sleep, the brain constructs landscapes and stories that defy logic and reshape reality. These invented experiences draw on fragments of memory and emotion, woven with invention, producing worlds that stretch far beyond waking limits. Neural pathways light up with activity in areas linked to creativity and synthesis. As memories mix with new ideas, the mind forges connections that reshape scenes and narratives in fascinating ways. These processes allow the dreaming brain to experiment freely, combining familiar elements into surprising and original forms that could scarcely occur in daylight consciousness. Within dreams, discrete fragments stored in memory float and merge with emotions and imagined sensations. This blending ignites unique visions and stories, crafted without the constraints of reality. The dynamic interplay encourages endless innovation. As past experiences are reshaped and rearranged to produce novel and rich dreamscapes filled with unexpected depth and meaning. Now let's dive in. The imagination within the dreaming mind acts like an unseen architect, designing intricate scenarios layer by layer. It uses both known information and invented details, creating a tapestry of images and sensations. This creative process leads to scenes shifting seamlessly, inviting exploration of worlds that feel vivid yet impossible by waking standards. When dreaming evolves, the brain initiates a complex synthesis of perception and invention. Known places transform or merge, while unknown elements emerge suddenly without warning. This blend allows entire environments to appear fully formed, yet fluid, adjusting to the dreamer's emotional state and internal narratives, producing a constantly adapting theater of imagined experience. As the night deepens, the boundaries between memories and invention blur further. Faces, places, and objects familiar from life may shift into distorted or fantastical forms. This flexibility makes each dream unique, where the expected changes without effort, and creative leaps shape scenes that can surprise even the mind creating them, enhancing the sense of discovery. Imagery that surfaces in dreams often defies the normal rules of space and time. One moment might compress hours into seconds, or a scene could twist in unexpected ways. This malleability of dream worlds stems from the imagination drawing on raw material, but reshaping it with freedom that waking logic does not allow, offering a wide range of possibility. The dreaming brain favors novelty, approaching experience not as fixed, but as something to mold and recreate. Improvisation plays a key role, allowing scenes to develop spontaneously. Objects might change purpose, or characters might blend traits, reflecting the mind's playful capacity to redesign reality according to mood and hidden desires that lie beneath conscious thought. In creative dream sequences, scenarios often unfold in a fluid narrative without strict beginnings or endings. Events flow smoothly into one another, powered by the mind's constructive ability to connect ideas and emotions in unexpected patterns. This continuous flow fosters a unique form of storytelling, unrestricted by linear time or spatial rules seen during waking hours. Sensory impressions within dreams can shift rapidly, mixing sounds, sights, and textures that rarely co-occur in waking life. This synthesis adds complexity and richness to imagined scenes where incongruous elements combine naturally. Such mixtures invite exploration of surreal scenarios and deepen the immersive quality of dreams, highlighting imagination's expansive role. Inventive thinking in dreams engages multiple brain regions simultaneously. Areas related to emotion, memory, and vision collaborate closely, producing a multi-layered experience. These joint interactions facilitate the creation of worlds rich in detail, where emotional undertones guide the construction of scenes, and visual fragments assemble into narratives coherent only within the dreaming mind. Within the fabric of dreams, imagined events can include impossible feats or surreal events. The brain experiments freely, allowing scenarios such as flying, shifting shapes, or altered physics. These explorations extend beyond daily experience, showing how imagination expands the possible and experiments with what might be, unrestrained by physical laws or habitual patterns. Emotional coloring often guides the imaginative process of dreaming. Feelings from waking life influence the tone and direction of dream narratives, shifting scenes toward serenity, anxiety, curiosity, or joy. This emotional influence acts as a frame, helping the mind tailor invented environments to inner states, shaping the quality of dreams and their progression over time. The imagination within a dream can reassemble familiar people into new roles or contexts. Friends, strangers, or figures from memory may appear with altered traits, combining qualities or behaviors unpredictably. This rearrangement reflects the brain's willingness to remix the past, producing hybrids and variants that expand the possible social landscape explored during sleep. Spatial environments crafted by imagination in dreams can defy logic. Hallways might loop endlessly, or rooms connect in ways that contradict physical layout. Such distortions enable flexible navigation through invented spaces, emphasizing emotional significance rather than accurate representation. This freedom allows the brain to emphasize sensations or ideas rather than sticking to literal forms and rules. Creative storytelling in dreams often involves abrupt shifts in plot or perspective. Narratives may jump from one scene or mood to another without warning. This unpredictable flow results from the mind's ongoing synthesis of ideas and emotions, crafting layered, sometimes disjointed sequences that invite reflection on how imagination remakes experience beyond conscious control. Visual fragments in the dream world might combine into surreal images where objects blend or take on new properties. Faces can melt into landscapes, or colors shift unevenly. These surprising combinations illustrate the mind's active manipulation of sensory material, generating novel compositions that reflect internal processes more than external realities encountered during waking life. Dreams may also feature invented languages, symbols, or gestures, reflecting the brain's capacity to create unique forms of communication. These elements add layers of meaning and texture, enriching the imaginative environment. This inventive aspect demonstrates how dreams stretch beyond simple replay, employing symbolic systems that exist only within the constructed dream reality. The dreaming mind sometimes simulates rehearsals for real-life challenges or desires. Imagined scenarios can include problem-solving or preparation for future events, subtly blending realistic details with invented contexts. This function highlights imagination's role in supporting adaptation, allowing the brain to explore possibilities and rehearse responses using richly constructed dream environments. The formation of fantasy realms in dreams mirrors the brain's drive to explore possibilities without restraint. Expansive worlds are built from fragments of memory, emotions, and invention, forming landscapes that invite interaction with strange creatures, unusual places, or altered realities. These realms provide a mental playground where constraints relax and creativity expands fully. During periods of deep sleep, the imagination's activity often reaches its peak intensity. Scenes become more vivid and elaborate, with intricate details emerging effortlessly. The brain layers textures, sounds, and movements to build immersive experiences. This heightened creativity permits the mind to explore uncharted mental territory, revealing the full scope of imaginative potential. Invented dream characters may embody aspects of the dreamer's personality or represent symbolic archetypes. These figures often act in ways that challenge or support the dreamer, creating interactions charged with meaning. Through these engagements, the imagination animates internal conflicts, desires, or hopes, crafting stories that reveal deeper layers beneath the surface consciousness. As morning approaches and sleep cycles shift, the intensity of imaginative dreaming can soften. Dreamscapes may become less vivid and more fragmented, signaling a transition. These changes reflect the brain gradually preparing for waking, allowing creative constructions to dissolve gently, easing the mind back toward conscious awareness without abrupt disruption. Throughout sleep, imagination fuels a constant process of creation and transformation. It gathers pieces from memories and emotions, mixing them fluidly into evolving stories. In its role as architect, imagination not only entertains, but also explores inner experience, offering a vast realm in which the mind can roam freely and safely beyond the boundaries of waking life. Now let's dive in as the boundaries of time and space within dreams unravel. Time does not move evenly. Seconds can stretch or collapse. Past, present, and future may merge into a single moment. These transformations affect surroundings deeply, making landscapes flow and reshape in ways that seem natural in the dream state, but confuse waking logic. In dreams, physical laws loosen their grip. Walls can melt into floors, and horizons might curve upward like ripples on water. Spaces fold inward, stretch outward, or overlap unexpectedly. These changes create surreal environments that feel immersive despite their impossibility. The fluid geometry invites the mind to navigate realms without clear boundaries or stable reference points. Time can loop back on itself as if trapped in circular patterns. Moments repeat with subtle shifts or sudden jumps. This looping alters the dreamer's sense of sequence and cause. Events may restart or rewind, complicating how the mind processes occurrences. Such distortions highlight the unique flexibility in dreaming, where narrative flow can become nonlinear, yet compelling. Spatial relationships blur as objects change size unexpectedly. A room might feel vast one instant and cramped the next. Distances fluctuate, making encounters unpredictable. These variations challenge expectations rooted in the waking world. The brain adapts, by accepting these spatial inconsistencies as part of the dream environment, allowing exploration of surreal dimensions beyond physical norms. Dreams can condense vast landscapes into a few steps. A mountain range might fit within a small garden, while an ocean seems to stretch endlessly in a confined space. This compression and expansion support the mind's ability to weave complex scenes rapidly. It enables fluid transitions from one setting to another without logic-bound constraints on size or distance. The experience of moving through dream space often defies direction. Navigating can feel more like drifting or flowing without a compass. Left, right, up, and down lose fixed meaning. This loss of directional certainty enhances the surreal quality and encourages the mind to explore environments by sensation or intuition rather than explicit logic or maps. Temporal perception inside dreams transforms emotions tied to time intervals. Minutes might seem to last for hours or vanish instantly without notice. This shifting sense of duration allows feelings to evolve differently than in waking life. The elasticity of time supports the brain's way of processing complex experiences compactly or extending brief moments for reflection. When narrative sequences change abruptly, dreams can shift scenes without transition. One moment places the dreamer in a quiet room, the next in an open field or distant city. Spatial and temporal disjunctions combine, fracturing continuity, but preserving an internal logic unique to dreaming. These jumps create a sense of surprise while maintaining the immersive quality of the dreamscape. Objects and people often transform during dreams as time and space fold. A familiar face may age or become youthful spontaneously. A chair might melt into mist or extend into a staircase. Such morphing underscores the malleability of dream environments. It reflects how memory, imagination, and emotion intermingle, altering how elements appear and behave. Dream time can feel disjointed, with moments juxtaposed strangely. A single image might contain past events merging with imagined futures. These layers of temporal complexity create atmospheres that seem both familiar and alien. The mind experiments with possibilities beyond linear progressions, blending experiences that coexist simultaneously within the dream. Spatial distortion can affect how sounds are perceived in dreams. Echoes might stretch across vast imaginary distances, or voices can appear surprisingly close despite illogical spatial arrangements. These auditory shifts contribute to the immersive and strange nature of dream spaces, aligning sensory experiences with visual and temporal transformations occurring within the mind. Light and shadow behave unpredictably, bending and warping as dreamscapes alter. Shadows might stretch or disappear entirely, and illumination can shift angles without a fixed source. These fluctuations enhance the surreal moods of space within dreams. The lack of consistent lighting rules makes environments feel malleable and alive, with subtle, shifting energy. Alterations in gravity are common during dreams. Objects or the dreamer might float slowly or drop suddenly without warning. Movement follows altered rules, sometimes resisting usual physical constraints. This change in gravitational pull adds to the experience of fluid space where normal expectations dissolve and new sensations take precedence over physical accuracy. Dreams may compress time so that entire days or years pass in moments. Conversely, seconds can stretch so long they feel endless. These extremes show how memory and imagination shape subjective experience. The brain condenses or expands perception to suit emotional content, allowing complex life events to unfold quickly or linger in tranquility. Spatial shifts influence the dreamer's sense of presence. At times, the dream self seems to occupy multiple places at once or blend into surroundings. This diffusion of location blurs the separations common in waking states. The sense of self expands or contracts, deepening immersion in the dream's fluid environment. Transitions between distinct spaces often lack clear barriers. One landscape might dissolve into another without a threshold or door. This blending blends boundaries so scenes flow into each other. The fluid architecture lets the mind roam freely, weaving imaginative habitats without interruption or pause, enhancing the continuity of the dream world despite constant change. Time within dreams sometimes reverses sequence, creating causality puzzles. Effects might appear before causes or actions unfold backward. These reversals challenge ordinary assumptions about progression. Such occurrences expose the brain's creative flexibility, experimenting with how stories and experiences can rearrange their order while sustaining internal coherence. Floating imagery often intersects with changing spaces, merging layers of perception. Visual elements can overlap, fade, or dissolve into one another, making environments appear porous and dynamic. This constant interplay supports the sense of space as a living, shifting element shaped by thoughts and emotions instead of fixed physicality. Bodies in dreams may shift scale or form along with spatial distortions. A hand can grow unnaturally large or shrink suddenly without pain or disorientation. These changes reflect the malleable sense of physical self tied directly to dream space. Body image adapts to shifting surroundings, highlighting the flexible nature of identity during sleep. Chronological blending mixes memories with fantasies, making it hard to distinguish reality from invention. Events from separate times combine to form new scenes. This integration supports the brain's role in creative problem solving and emotional processing by allowing disconnected elements to coexist and interact fluidly within the dream experience. Dream landscapes respond to the dreamer's focus, reshaping as attention moves. Focal points may expand or contract, altering spatial layout and depth. This responsiveness creates environments that feel alive and reactive, adapting in real time to mental shifts rather than static or predetermined settings typical of waking spaces. Sudden shifts in sensory detail sharpen or blur parts of dream scenes. A distant object might gain vivid clarity or dissolve into obscurity rapidly. These fluctuations in perception change the mind's interpretation of space, emphasizing certain elements while allowing others to retreat, thereby guiding the emotional tone and narrative atmosphere. Dreams often defy linear logic by mixing spatial and temporal rules. The fluidity allows locations and moments to flow into one another freely. This fusion forms landscapes rich with complexity, where cause and effect may dissolve, but the overall experience remains coherent through emotional and imaginative connections sustained by the mind. Rather than following predictable patterns, dream space evolves unpredictably. Shapes and distances shift according to mental currents. Time's passage alters according to emotional significance. This adaptability lets the mind craft elaborate inner worlds where usual constraints vanish, supporting the exploration of thought and feeling unbound by external reality. Faces in dreams often seem both clear and elusive. Memory provides fragments of features, yet imagination rearranges and blends them. Sometimes these faces belong to people recognized from daily life, while other times they appear entirely unknown. The mind assembles these identities spontaneously, mixing emotions and impressions to give life to figures that populate the dream's shifting scenes. Familiar faces may carry feelings associated with past interactions, influencing how they appear and behave in the dream world. Unfamiliar faces, by contrast, often derive from combinations of stored visual impressions. The brain selects and integrates bits of past experiences, sometimes resulting in faces that feel real, but never existed outside the dream environment. Now let's dive in as attention focuses on the subtle ways dreams shape identity. Facial features emerge and dissolve rapidly, reflecting dynamic memories and emotional states. Visual centers in the brain reconstruct familiar aspects, while imagination infuses novel traits to complete the picture. This continuous creation allows each figure to take on unique expressions and presences within the dream landscape. In some dreams, faces seem distorted or exaggerated, revealing the mind's flexibility in playing with recognition. Emotions connected to these figures often shift during the dream, making them appear comforting one moment and strange the next. Neural networks involved in visual memory and emotion interact closely, fostering these fluid, sometimes contradictory impressions. Visual memory fragments stored from countless daily encounters become raw materials for dream faces. The hippocampus and surrounding areas retrieve details like eye shape, hair texture, and facial structure. These elements do not always match perfectly, allowing for blends or entirely new compositions that feel believable but resist precise identification upon waking. Occasionally, dream characters emerge with faces that defy familiarity altogether. These may draw from incomplete recollections or imagined templates produced by associative brain functions. These unfamiliar faces often seem to fit the story of the dream, contributing to its mood or themes without requiring conscious recognition. Emotional states, alongside memory, play a key role in shaping how faces appear in dreams. The amygdala influences the coloring of these impressions, sometimes intensifying fear, affection, or curiosity linked with individuals encountered during sleep. This emotional coloring can alter expressions, making faces seem more vivid or more shadowed in the dream space. Across dream sequences, faces often do not remain consistent. A person who begins with one set of features might shift into another instantly. This fluidity reflects the brain's blending of multiple inputs and ongoing narrative demands. Each change helps the story progress, while the mind continuously experiments with identity and recognition. Dreamers frequently report meeting people they recognize only vaguely or not at all. These characters may be mixtures of acquaintances, strangers, and imagined features. The constructive process creates composite identities that feel credible within the dream's context, filling social roles that the subconscious audience requires for emotional or narrative balance. Facial recognition areas of the brain work alongside creative regions during dreams. This cooperation results in faces that can appear lifelike or surreal, depending on the dream's focus. The brain's attempt to make sense of partial memories contributes to the uncanny sensation that often accompanies these dream figures, blending clarity and mystery in equal measure. Visual impressions in dreams sometimes include fleeting glimpses of faces that vanish quickly. These ephemeral images highlight the transient nature of memory retrieval during sleep. The brain samples fragments, then sifts through them rapidly, often leaving only vague impressions or feelings about the person's identity rather than clear recall. Dreams rarely present faces in perfect detail. Instead, the mind favors symbolic or essential aspects that convey emotional significance. An eye might stand out, or a smile linger as a key motif, while other characteristics fade into background ambiguity. This selective emphasis helps the subconscious communicate themes and sentiments without fully formed portraits. When certain faces recur across multiple dreams, they may represent important, unresolved emotions or memories. These repeated figures carry deeper meaning, signaling ongoing processing by the subconscious mind. Recognition may be partial or shifting, but their presence often provokes responses that linger after waking, hinting at internal concerns or desires. Faces in dreams also serve as plot's anchors, providing a human element that organizes thought and feeling. The brain uses these identities to ground narrative flow, allowing interactions to occur that reflect relational patterns or personal conflicts. Through these encounters, dreams explore aspects of identity and emotion not easily accessed during waking hours. Memory consolidation during REM sleep integrates personal experiences with imaginative elements, supporting the assembly of dream faces. The process reactivates stored images, while the mind improvises details, merging fact and fiction. This blend forms the faces that appear, shifting between recognition and novelty in response to the dream's evolving storyline. As dreams progress, facial features may become less defined or more abstract, depending on how deeply the mind delves into symbolic content. This gradual simplification allows the dreamer to focus less on specific details and more on the feelings evoked by the interactions. Sometimes faces dissolve completely, leaving only emotional aftereffects. The brain uses spatial memory to position faces within dream environments. This placement supports the coherence of the dream world by linking characters to places and actions. Faces appear at meaningful spots within scenes, helping the narrative unfold by situating identities where they matter most to the dream's emotional journey. Sometimes, faces in dreams can shift gaze or expression in response to the dreamer's perspective. This interaction suggests an active dialogue between conscious awareness and subconscious content. The dynamic qualities of dream faces add layers of communication that transcend waking social cues, embodying deeper layers of meaning and feeling. Visual distortion of faces in dreams may reflect internal conflicts or unresolved thoughts. For example, blurred or fragmented features can represent uncertainty or mixed emotions tied to that identity. These distortions highlight how the dream process externalizes complex psychological states through changes in appearance and expression. The sense of familiarity in dream faces often involves pattern recognition. The brain uses templates stored from countless interactions, assembling partial matches to create faces that feel known. Even distant memories can provide pieces that the mind fits together creatively. producing faces that surprise and sometimes unsettle upon waking. In some instances, dream faces may fuse multiple identities into one figure. This fusion serves to simplify the story or represent a synthesis of feelings related to different people. Running narratives benefit from such combinations, allowing the dream to convey complicated relationships within a single character's presence. Emotional imprinting can alter how dream faces are perceived. A face once associated with joy may appear warmer or more inviting, while those linked to fear might look harsher or more distant. These emotional layers affect the dream interactions, shaping how the dreamer experiences each figure and their significance within the storyline. Faces emerging in shadowy areas of dreams often signal uncertainty or hidden feelings. The lack of clarity can emphasize mystery or avoidance, making these figures seem distant yet meaningful. This interplay of light and darkness reflects how the subconscious negotiates with aspects of identity that remain unresolved or partially concealed. As sleep cycles continue, the brain fine-tunes the balance between recognition and invention in dream faces. This process enriches the dream's complexity and supports emotional exploration. The shifting identities challenge conscious expectations, inviting a deeper understanding of how memory and imagination combine to shape nightly encounters. Symbols in dreams often act as a silent language, forming messages beyond words. Images, objects, and figures combine to express feelings and thoughts that remain hidden during waking hours. These symbols carry multiple layers of meaning, shaped sometimes by personal experiences or by images that resonate deeply within the collective memory across cultures and generations. Personal symbols arise from memories, emotions, and unique life experiences. An object seen in a dream might represent a specific hope or fear connected to recent events. Meanwhile, universal symbols tap into shared human patterns, such as water representing change or a path suggesting direction. Both forms enrich how dreams communicate, enabling complex ideas to surface without spoken language. Now let's dive in to understand how dreams layer meanings through symbolic imagery. Scenes in dreams rarely appear random. Each element often points toward underlying emotions or unresolved thoughts. The brain weaves these symbols together, forming scenarios that make the subconscious language accessible to the dreamer. Even if the full message remains partly veiled until waking interpretation, images in dreams can serve as metaphors, representing feelings indirectly. A locked door might indicate feelings of restriction, or a vast forest may symbolize a journey into the unknown parts of the mind. These symbols work together like a coded message, where understanding requires reflection on personal context, combined with universal themes encountered through experience. Sometimes, dream symbols emerge from recent experiences, weaving everyday events into nighttime narratives. The mind translates waking life into images that may seem strange, but hold emotional truth. Recognizing these symbols helps to reveal internal conflicts or desires, providing a bridge between conscious thought and the deeper workings of the psyche during sleep. Dream language often uses exaggeration or distortion to capture emotional intensity. Objects might look larger, colors shift, or space appears endless. These changes highlight important feelings or ideas needing attention. The subconscious selects such alterations not randomly, but with purpose, to emphasize what might otherwise stay unnoticed in waking awareness. In addition to individual meaning, some symbols hold cultural significance. Certain animals, numbers, or landscapes repeatedly appear across diverse societies with shared interpretations. For example, snakes commonly symbolize transformation or healing, while bridges might represent connection or transition. These symbols provide a common thread linking personal dreams to broader human experience. Certain symbols might shift meaning depending on the dreamer's feelings or current life situation. A symbol like fire can represent destruction or renewal, depending on context. The flexibility of dream symbols allows the mind to explore both fears and hopes through a single image, enriching the storytelling quality of dreams and opening space for insight upon waking. The brain often layers multiple symbols into complex narratives, creating dream episodes filled with rich visual language. Scenes unfold with actors, objects, and settings interacting in ways that suggest relationships or conflicts. Understanding these interactions can illuminate emotional dynamics that remain unspoken during the day, deepening self-awareness and opening new perspectives. Silent but powerful symbolic language bypasses logical thinking, communicating directly with emotions. Dreams can present symbolic puzzles whose solutions involve feelings rather than facts. This emotional encoding allows the mind to highlight unresolved issues, encourage growth, or preserve psychological balance while the conscious mind rests. Repetitive symbols often signal unresolved mental themes. When a particular image or scenario recurs, it may point toward persistent feelings or concerns needing attention. This repetition helps the dreamer recognize and process thoughts or emotions that demand focus, guiding reflection, and sometimes inspiring changes in waking behavior or attitude. Dream symbols are sometimes linked to sensory memories, activating sounds, tastes, or physical sensations alongside images. A dream might include a warm breeze or a particular scent that intensifies the symbol's meaning. These sensory details enrich the narrative, making the experience more vivid and helping the brain integrate multiple channels of memory and emotion. When symbols interact in a dream, their combined meaning can evolve. For example, a winding river paired with a fading sun may suggest the end of a journey or an emotional release. This interaction forms a dynamic narrative layer, with symbols blending to express nuanced psychological states in a way straightforward words might struggle to capture. Visual details within symbols matter. The condition or quality of the symbol, for example, a broken mirror compared to a clear one, can change its message. Such visual contrasts cue the dreamer to different psychological states, inviting closer attention to subtle distinctions in emotional experience or inner conflicts portrayed compellingly through images. Sometimes dreams create entirely new symbols, born from unique combinations of past memories and current emotions. These original images reflect the brain's creative power during sleep, synthesizing familiar elements into unfamiliar forms. Such symbols challenge interpretation, but reveal the mind's capacity to innovate emotional expressions beyond learned or traditional signs. Symbols also serve a protective function, masking painful feelings behind abstract images. Difficult emotions might be hidden beneath dream symbols to make them easier to confront indirectly. This shielding allows the mind to process trauma or anxiety without overwhelming the conscious self, maintaining psychological resilience while still exploring challenging inner states during rest. Edges and boundaries within dream scenes mark limits of personal space or emotional capacity. Walls, fences, or clear divisions often appear as symbols indicating control or restriction. Recognizing these spatial boundaries within the dream language helps map areas of comfort or tension in the subconscious, offering clues about what might require adjustment or acceptance. Colors convey symbolic weight as well, though meanings vary widely. Red might suggest danger or passion. Blue can evoke calm or sadness, while green links to growth or renewal. These hues influence the emotional tone of symbols and help the dreamer sense shifts in mood or psychological focus embedded within the dream's visual storytelling. Animals often represent instinctive drives or personality traits, acting as symbolic guides through dream narratives. A soaring bird may embody freedom, while a lurking predator reflects hidden fears or aggression. Paying attention to animal symbols connects the dreamer to primal parts of the self, providing insight into emotional energies managed beneath conscious thought during sleep. Objects that move or transform during dreams indicate change or transition. For example, a slowly bursting bubble might symbolize fragility or release, whereas shifting shapes suggest fluid feelings evolving over time. These dynamic symbols offer a window into psychological processes unfolding beneath the surface, revealing how emotions can shift and adapt even while resting. Places in dreams often reflect mental states or stages of life. A familiar house may represent the self or personal history, while an open field might symbolize freedom or possibility. Awareness of these spatial symbols helps link inner psychological landscapes with external environments, providing a richer understanding of emotional experiences articulated through dream scenarios. Dreams communicate by weaving symbols from multiple sources, forming narratives that blend personal memory with universal archetypes. This mixture allows for highly individual messages wrapped in broader human meaning, making each dream a unique code rich with potential insights about both private and shared aspects of the mind. Objects and settings repeat across dreams, shaping a symbolic vocabulary that builds over time. Tracking recurring symbols reveals inner priorities and concerns. This personal lexicon grows through dreaming, becoming a specialized way the brain organizes thoughts and feelings, which enriches self-understanding and promotes emotional resolution during unconscious hours. Interpretation of dream symbols is often intuitive rather than literal. The meanings emerge from feelings and personal associations rather than fixed definitions. This openness invites exploration and gentle reflection, encouraging the mind to engage with internal messages naturally and flexibly, supporting a deeper connection to the unconscious without forcing rigid conclusions. As dawn nears, the blurry edge between dreams and waking shifts. Colors and forms that once filled the night begin to fade, like mist under a rising sun. The mind starts to untangle the images and emotions held in dream state, preparing for clearer thoughts. This transition feels light and gradual, carrying traces of the dream into the waking hours. Thoughts from the dream world soften as waking presence returns. Memories and feelings gently lose their intensity, becoming quiet companions rather than urgent sensations. The brain's activity shifts its rhythm, tuning in to sounds and sensations outside the dream. Awareness expands, bringing focus to the room, the breath, and the slow return to full consciousness. Details held in dreams sometimes linger like shadows at sunrise, dim but still recognizable. Faces, places, or emotions might surface quietly in the mind's eye, mingling with waking thoughts. This overlap creates a subtle connection between the sleeping self and the day ahead, weaving reflections from unconscious moments into conscious experience with calm ease. As sensory input gradually increases, the mind reshapes its inner landscape from one of fluid, shifting images to stable, solid awareness. The fading dreamscape softens into the background, while the present world gains clarity and structure. This shift is delicate, each stage moving smoothly without abruptness, inviting gentle alertness alongside lingering calm. The sensations of the body also contribute to waking. Muscle tone returns after the relaxed state of sleep, and the skin begins to register touch and temperature more clearly. Movement may feel slow or light as the body re-engages with its environment. These physical sensations support the mind's pathway from the dream world back into reality without rush. Neural activity adapts during this moment, scaling down the networks engaged in dream formation while amplifying those responsible for conscious control. Thought patterns realign with the day's demands, prioritizing logic and direct perception. Yet the influence of the dreaming mind can subtly shape creativity and mood, allowing dream elements to inspire waking moments in an understated way. In the moments when dreams dissolve, emotions often soften and shift. Feelings that once felt intense or confusing calm into more balanced sensations. The fading dream creates space for peaceful reflection, allowing the mind to process these moods gently. This emotional smoothing supports a thoughtful and gentle return to the waking state, soothing the transition. Memory traces from dreams can feel like faint impressions, almost like a whisper barely heard. They might blur quickly or remain as subtle hints throughout the day. These remnants do not demand attention, but quietly influence mood or ideas, slipping between conscious thoughts and unconscious awareness in a way that remains easy to let go. When waking follows vivid dreams, the border between sleep and alertness can feel hazy. The mind holds on to fragments, replaying scenes or sensations as thoughts stir awake. This blending supports creativity and self-awareness by nurturing connections between the subconscious and the conscious mind, while the body gently reclaims full wakefulness. The quiet moments just before full wakefulness create a soft buffer zone where sensations and images mingle. Sounds from the environment gently seep in, while internal reflections drift and adjust. This space allows for a measured pace of awakening, where stimuli are met with calm responsiveness instead of sudden attention, encouraging gentle integration of night's experiences. As eyelids flutter and open, sunlight or indoor light begins to fill the room, marking a clear shift, but without urgency. The eyes adjust slowly to illumination, accompanying the mental adjustment from dreamlike state to alert consciousness. Visual clarity restores balance between seeing clearly and remembering the shades of dreams fading behind awareness. Skin temperature changes subtly during waking, signaling the body's shift from rest to activity. A gradual rise in warmth supports circulation and signals readiness for movement. This physical process accompanies cognitive shifts, tying the body's rhythms back to daytime patterns after the stillness of sleep, all unfolding in quiet, measured steps. Between the phases of dreaming and waking, the neurological state balances lightly. Networks responsible for imagination relax their grip, while those governing attention strengthen their hold. This interplay allows for a smooth easing into wakefulness, where mental clarity grows alongside the soft disappearance of dream imagery, leaving space for new awareness. The fading of dream imagery is neither sudden nor total. Instead, it resembles a gradual withdrawal of attention from shifting scenes and stories. Focus moves toward the current moment, noticing bodily sensations and external sounds. This gradual realignment helps maintain calmness by avoiding abrupt awakenings and supports a natural mental unfolding toward full consciousness. The mental shift is accompanied by changes in breathing patterns. Breaths lengthen and deepen, becoming more regular as the body prepares for waking. This adjusted rhythm helps balance alertness with relaxation, ensuring that the transition is steady and not rushed. Each inhale and exhale supports an unfolding awareness rooted in the present moment. Dreams often leave a soft residue on thoughts, coloring the start of the day with hints of emotion or insight. While the images dissolve, their meaning may subtly guide feelings and reflections, quietly influencing mood without overwhelming the daylight mind. This gentle imprint blends unconscious creativity with conscious experience over time. Some fragments of dreams hang lightly in memory like mist that lingers after dawn. These pieces are fragile and seldom fully clear, but contribute slight textures to the mental landscape. Their presence can shift perceptions or inspire thought, all while slipping into obscurity without disturbing the waking mind's calm progress. The process of returning from a dream to waking involves a gradual tuning of senses. Ears begin to focus on ambient sounds, while tactile sensitivity grows more alert. The mind coordinates these shifts with increasing clarity, establishing firm footing in the immediate surroundings, while allowing dream elements to recede naturally into background. Mood changes during waking often lean toward calm acceptance. Feelings arising from dream content grow less complex and more balanced as conscious thoughts take precedence. This emotional settling aids in releasing lingering tension, supporting a grounded mindset that smoothly welcomes alertness without losing the calmness nurtured through sleep. The route from dreaming to waking shows a gentle decline in brainwave frequencies associated with subconscious imagery. As activity in these areas retracts, higher frequency waves linked to perception gain strength. This natural exchange fosters attentive awareness while preserving soft reflections from sleep, encouraging a relaxed and steady return to full consciousness. Shifts in posture often accompany waking, signaling the body's engagement with upright positions and movement plans. This physical reactivation supports neurological changes, reinforcing the mind's readiness to move from rest into action. These actions are typically slow and unhurried, matching the overall steady return from sleep to wakefulness. The blend between dreams and reality feels less like a boundary and more like a melting edge. Dream remnants dissolve carefully, allowing thoughts and sensations to mingle until waking stands clear. This process happens with measured softness, inviting peaceful awareness to settle in, as alertness blends seamlessly with fading images. Light breathing and calm heart rhythms contribute to the smoothness of waking transitions. Together, these bodily rhythms encourage a stable pattern that supports mental clarity while easing the mind out of deep rest. The body and brain work together quietly, forming a balanced state where the senses gently open to the day ahead. The moment of awakening brings a quiet readiness to face the day, carrying subtle influences from dreams into waking thought. This connection between the night's experiences and daytime awareness forms a gentle bridge, softly linking rest with action while leaving space for calm and focus. The mind now stands steady, prepared for the hours ahead. Dreams often leave subtle traces in waking moments, influencing thoughts and creative impulses without obvious effort. As the night softens into morning, these fragments can expand into new ideas and unexplored feelings. The complex blend of memory and imagination in dreams gently nudges the mind toward deeper self-exploration, opening doors to emotions not yet fully understood. Emotional insights born within dreaming states can continue to unfold over days or even weeks. Scenes experienced in sleep weave into the fabric of emotional processing, helping to balance unresolved feelings. Rest allows these quiet reflections to emerge gradually, fostering a calm awareness of personal challenges and strengths, often without conscious direction, like whispers traveling through the layers of the mind. Now let's dive into the lasting effects dreams instill upon creativity and inner growth. Through sleep, the brain reshapes experiences into novel combinations, crafting unique perspectives. This invisible architecture supports problem solving and artistic inspiration, connecting distant fragments of knowledge and emotion. In this unseen workspace of the mind, the foundations of insight and innovation quietly solidify, ready to emerge in waking life. Across mental landscapes, dreaming forms patterns that influence how thoughts arrange themselves. The brain's quiet activity also links feelings and facts into original blends. This process underlies moments of clarity that seem sudden, but are built over sleep cycles, building new mental pathways. Such transformations reveal the brain's subtle handling of experience, blending the familiar with the unexpected in restful states. During periods of rest, emotional health often benefits from the brain's steady organization of memories. Dreams play a critical role in this by mixing and sorting daily experiences with past events. This interplay supports deeper understanding of personal narratives, where feelings and facts intertwine, shaping how individuals perceive themselves and their surroundings more clearly with each morning light. Self-awareness can grow through dreaming as new connections arise between inner thoughts and external impressions. These quiet moments create space for the mind to examine itself without distraction. The gentle unfolding of unconscious content offers clues about desires, fears, and motivations. While not always obvious, this introspective aspect of dreams subtly enhances personal insight, inviting curiosity about the ongoing processes behind mental life. The creative mind often draws from the reservoir built by dreams, blending ideas and emotions into novel forms. This dialogue between conscious work and sleeping imagination enriches expression and problem solving. Although these origins remain hidden, they quietly reinforce artistic and intellectual activity. Within sleep, the brain crafts a silent stage for innovation, quietly preparing thoughts to take shape in waking moments ahead. As reflections from dreams linger beyond sleep, they lightly color mood and decision-making. Experiences from the dream world can shift perspectives, sometimes reshaping how challenges are viewed. This ongoing influence fluctuates gently, contributing to emotional balance and resilience. Over time, the interplay between sleep and waking states supports a fuller understanding of oneself and the unfolding story of personal growth. Throughout the night, complex symbols and themes emerge in dreams, often without clear explanation. These elements can resonate beneath awareness and gradually shape feelings and thoughts. Such symbolic content engages areas of the mind involved in meaning and memory. Even subtle changes fostered by this process help prepare the brain to navigate future challenges with increased flexibility and calm. Minds at rest frequently weave strands of emotion, memory, and imagination into rich, shifting tapestries. This synthesis encourages mental renewal and nurtures inner understanding. Though elusive, the effects extend beyond sleep, influencing the flow of daily life with quiet depth. The intimate connection between dreaming and personal insight offers endless possibilities for exploration and peaceful reflection. Emotions play a vital role in the continuing impact of dreams, helping to regulate mood after waking. By hosting scenarios that evoke feelings, sleeping states provide a safe setting to experience complex reactions. This ongoing process subtly supports emotional healing and clarity, contributing to greater calm and openness as the mind transitions from sleep to wakefulness, evolving with each cycle of rest. Memory reprocessing during sleep transforms fragments of daily experience into coherent narratives. These emerging stories aid the mind in understanding itself and the world over successive nights. This work enhances the brain's capacity for learning and adaptation. The gentle reweaving of memory contributes to a steady expansion of mental flexibility and emotional balance, calmly shaping the foundation for continued growth. The subtle architecture of dreams provides a framework for exploring abstract ideas. Within this unique state, the mind can test possibilities without risk, making it a natural incubator for innovation. Dreaming rearranges thoughts and feelings into combinations not easily achieved while awake. This quiet experimentation enriches imagination, allowing new patterns to take root and grow in the fertile space between sleep and consciousness. Between cycles of sleep, unconscious reflections continue unfolding, even during restful moments before waking. These insights influence how personal experiences are integrated over time, shaping a deeper understanding of self. The mind's capacity to hold and examine complex emotions without immediate judgment supports thoughtful processing. This delicate balance nurtures acceptance and growth, lightly guiding mental shifts that contribute to emotional steadiness. Creative inspiration often arises from places the waking mind cannot easily reach. Dreams provide access to these hidden sources by blending emotional and cognitive elements. The brain's nocturnal activity connects fragments of memory in unusual ways. These connections can lead to new ideas or solutions that surface when attention turns inward. In this way, dreaming acts as an unseen partner of creative thought, gently shaping novel perspectives. Over time, the emotional themes visited in dreams assist in resolving internal conflicts. By encountering different scenarios, the mind experiments with feelings, rehearsing responses without consequences. This process diminishes distress and builds emotional resilience. The calm environment of sleep fosters this safe practice, allowing the brain to prepare softly for waking challenges, strengthening the psychological foundation for well-being. Dreams also deepen awareness by opening subtle channels between conscious and unconscious thought. Such connection enriches understanding by revealing unexpected links across experiences. This interaction encourages flexible thinking and greater empathy toward oneself and others. While not always obvious during waking hours, the echoes of this dialogue gradually surface, contributing to a sensitive and spacious inner life that grows increasingly accessible. The subtle influence of dreams on creativity shows in moments when ideas feel effortless and inspiration flows. Rest provides the conditions for the mind to reorganize information and emotions in ways unavailable during active thought. These softer background processes enable important breakthroughs. In this quiet space, the brain's ability to innovate is quietly nurtured, preparing fresh insights to emerge with renewed clarity. As night approaches waking, the mind gently transitions from immersive dream states to awareness. This movement carries with it delicate threads of insight and emotional processing that continue to shape perspective. The slow fading of dream content gives way to calm thoughtfulness, inviting a gentle acceptance of the day's unfolding. Through this path, rest leads naturally toward peaceful alertness and mental harmony. Memories linked with strong feeling in dreams often surface with new meaning after waking. These reinterpreted experiences allow for emotional growth without the weight of immediate reaction. The brain's quiet examination serves as a bridge between sleep and wakefulness, facilitating a smoother transition. This process supports thoughtful reflection that promotes calmness and a richer understanding of emotional complexity over time. Within the mind's landscape, the continuing dialogue between dreams and waking thought shapes self-perception. Dream content frequently offers fresh angles on personal stories, expanding awareness. This exchange fosters a sense of mental flexibility, helping to accommodate change and uncertainty calmly. As a result, the patterns woven in sleep contribute lasting threads to the evolving tapestry of identity and emotional balance. Softly, the mind carries dreams forward, allowing their impressions to blend seamlessly with daily experience. This integration subtly informs creativity, emotional insight, and decision-making throughout waking hours. The quiet work done in sleep enriches mental life in ways that go unnoticed, but are deeply essential. These gentle influences accumulate, encouraging ongoing exploration and quiet wonder at the brain's complex workings. Reflecting gently on the mysterious structure of dreams invites curiosity and openness without pressure. The enigmatic qualities of dreaming remain largely unexplored, holding potential for deeper understanding. This open-ended nature encourages a calm acceptance of uncertainty, allowing the mind to rest in a tranquil state of intrigue. Such thoughtful reflection nourishes a peaceful readiness for restful sleep and mental renewal. As the journey of night closes softly, the lasting impressions of dreams settle into the mind's quiet background. These enduring echoes invite gentle awareness of how mental and emotional realms continue to shift and grow. Rest shapes a calm openness, offering space for new insights to emerge naturally with the passing of time, supporting a restful transition into peaceful sleep. and the new day ahead.